The teachings teach that suffering is caused by anger, greed, and ignorance. These three poisonous frequencies of unconsciousness must be converted into happiness, generosity, and knowledge for self-improvement to be attained. To operate in the lower frequencies of anger, greed, and ignorance is to be caught in the enchanted cycle of stagnation and self-defeat. Yet, when these cycles have been broken and conscious mindfulness is allowed to generate right thought, mental awareness, and alertness, liberation, freedom, self-improvement are only a thought away. Think about it. Peace. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope all is well. Nice little rainy day out today. But it's all good. You know, we need the rain, we need the sunshine, the early season for a reason. Welcome to Message from the Streets. Today's topic, interesting topic, controversial topic, and that is the wickedness of white nationalist ideology is the destruction of America. Now, I know that may be a lot to grasp, but bear with me. You know, I've been thinking, a lot of things been going on. We're seeing a lot of things, a lot of information coming this way and that way. So I got a lot of information that I want to share with y'all. And before I go forward, it's only just a point of view. But to this particular topic, the wickedness of white nationalists, is the destruction of America, white nationalist ideology. And that is because it's polarized. And it's only for so-called whites. And it ain't for all Americans. And being as though that be the reason why, that will make a lopsided society. That will make a society that is impoverished and a society that is wealthy or rich. That will make a society that is learned. And then there's a society that would be based in ignorance and darkness. And this is the ideology and the concept of white nationalism. You know, we're dealing with hate. We're dealing with the disdainment for others that you don't even know, only because of traditions, rituals, ideas that have been shared with you from your communities and cultures, family members, the church you go to, and other social groups. Your mindset has been poisoned. So-called white people, so-called white brothers and sisters of humanity, because you're not on the outside. You're not superior. And I'm not going to say you're inferior, which you will say about people such as myself. But we know that's not true. So I'm not going to, you can't reflect ignorance. But moving forward, now, the basic of the concept of what I'm bringing to you is that white nationalist ideology is the destruction of America. On account is that when you uplift one group of people because of favoritism, because of an agreement that you have made with yourself about these particular people, may they look like you or similar to you, and then you will ostracize others that are not like you in physical appearance. But who to say that you're not like these people in mental and in spiritual reflection? But what it ends up happening, because so-called whites have been bamboozled and hoodwinked by their forefathers, by the government factors who has set the less fortunate whites as pawns and adversaries against people that the aristocrats look at as the same. There's no difference from a so-called poor white or not to do so good white than a so-called black. The only difference is that, you may receive some types of privileges and some entitlement in some particular areas. But overall, when it comes down to it, when you get to, to the gate of the gatekeepers, which are your aristocrats, your governors and your mayors and your the presidents and the Supreme Court justice and the legislators and things of that nature. When you really look at it and you really think about it, they don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? And they never have. They only used you. But you let them use you. And that's why, because of your poison mindset, you have destroyed the possibility of a prosperous America, a prosperous United States. Because the whole thing is that we all is in this house. So we're going to have one part of the house spick and span, clean, no caffeine. But we're going to have the other one off the, the dusty gutter, malt liquor of the barrel, the baddest part of the hops, and we're going to keep it rolling like that. And we say, you know what? That ain't our problem. But that's where you deceive yourself at. Any type of low level of operation in society is a reflection of the highest level of society. Let me say that again. Any low level of society is a reflection of the high level of society. How is that so? Because the highest perspective of society is saying that, yeah, we right here, we shining like lights. But all the time, that low section or operation is a reflection. It's like a mirror, a so-called magic mirror or a scientific mirror, and showing all the things that you're doing in the darkness. Like there's no mystery why some neighborhoods are drug infested. Some neighborhoods have poor housing and is raggedy in a sense. This is a straight reflection of those that have preferred such a thing to exist. And it's not just because of what's going on today. And a lot of people try to say, you know what, that was then. No, then is now and now is then. Because if you haven't resolved what happened then, we haven't taken any accountability for it, it still exists. On planes and rims, dimensions and ethers in mental thought process. That's why a so-called white can get angry quickly and call a so-called black a N-I-G-G-E-R, not N-I-G-G-A-R, because they're saying it was a racial or racist intent. See what I'm saying? So racism is still here, and a lot of people try to act like, you know what, that's not going on now. You're lying to yourself. It may not be going on in certain areas that you may frequently visit, but it is going on. You don't know what's going on in these people's houses, how these people thinking. A lot of these conservatives and some of these Democrats being so-called liberals. I know at the dinner table you still talk about so-called blacks, browns, Asians, Jews, wah, 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 wah. Some of the people, since I made that mention of Jews, or so-called Jews, just 30, 40 years ago, you were in the bed in a category with so-called blacks with so-called white nationalists and so-called racist whites. Because they had things, no blacks, no Jews. That was their thing. They had it, together. No Hispanics, no this, no that. And you wasn't so-called white, so-called Aryan. And right now in the day, you drunk the Kool-Aid. You done made a deal with the devil because you done got some political preferences. You done made some type of agreement to get some type of favor, and they lessened it up on you. But when they lessened it up on you and they stepped on the necks and the backs of so-called blacks with police brutality and injustice in this injustice system, you are a conspirator to that. You so-called Jews, you so-called spiritual people that so-called know the truth for the Most High, you lie. You lie without even opening your mouth. You lie because you haven't opened your mouth against this injustice. Because your silence on this injustice says that you're in agreement with this injustice. And this is one of the reasons that the so-called white nationalists, racist ideology is the destruction of America, because it is poison, it is death, It is a frame of consciousness or unconsciousness that will never mean society any good. If you don't know by now, you better ask somebody. Love is king. You hear me? Love is king. If you're a white nationalist or a black nationalist or Asian nationalist, if you think that you and your group of people are a certain type of way and exalted over other because of your nationality, you're in darkness and you're ignorant. Whoever you are. See what I'm saying? Because consciousness, becoming aware and awake, doesn't relate to this. It's a mental thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's dealing with energies and frequencies. See what I'm saying? But if you want to keep on saying, oh, I'm from the Aryan nation, or the Aryan people, or the whites, the Caucasians, the Caucasus Mountains in Europe, this is our great ancestors, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm the Kemenites. I'm the Egyptians. I'm the Hebrews, the original Hebrews. I'm these and I'm that and I'm that. And that make me better than them. You lie to yourself. No respect of person. Mind, spirit, energy, king. And if you think anything else, you're still sleeping. Ladies and gentlemen, bring this session to a close. So and I just had that on my mind. I got a lot I'm going to speak on in the next couple of weeks from various things about Jim Crow, what's going on in Minnesota, the history of Minnesota. I got a little paper right here. The real estate covenant, redlining, gerrymandering, all that. See, we need to become aware and educated on these things. Some people might say, especially some European Caucasians, that may watch the program here and there. They might say, man, this stuff don't exist no more. You're lying. And that's what they always want us to think, that it's not existing. They want us to think that we had the same opportunity that every so-called white man, or so-called white woman, or even so-called Jews, that everything is on a level playing field. You're lying. Hey, I said it, because that's what snakes do. That's what the teachers say. You know what? Don't talk to snakes. But we got to talk to snakes because snakes run this government. Snakes is powerful people across the land. Ladies and gentlemen, alarm going off. I gotta go. Have a blessed day on purpose, with purpose. Leave a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. Share your views, give me some information. Hey, each one teach one. Iron sharpen iron.